Hey everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is called Slay Queen, and we are talking about the Queen of Swords and effectively embodying the energy of the Queen of Swords. And here she is right here, the lovely Queen of Swords from the Tarot, or the Tarot, however you want to call it. And I'm going to read a little bit about the Queen of Swords. And for those of you that would rather not hear the intro, you can go to my description box below. And I'm going to read a little bit from my notes from different texts that I pulled and some of my own notes about the Queen of Swords. But if you don't feel like listening to that, you can go straight to the description box below to the timestamp. And we have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 is Mercury. If you're feeling the planet Mercury, you'll choose pile number 1. For pile number 2, we have the moon. If you're feeling the moon, you'll choose pile number 2. And for pile number 3, we have Uranus. If you're feeling the planet Uranus, you'll choose pile number 3, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the reading, and the lovely Queen of Swords will be guiding us through this reading. And of course, she is very severe and strong in the way that she is, in the way that she sits, in the way that she stares across the room or stares someone down. And we're gonna put her right here, front and center. And I think it's so interesting, if you drop the S off the Queen of Swords, she would be the Queen of Words, which is very true because she's very good with writing, research, speaking, being very clear, and being very precise about things, okay? So I'm going to talk a little bit about her. The Queen of Swords in the tarot represents the watery part of air, and she represents 20 degrees Virgo to 20 degrees Libra in the zodiac, okay? So the Queen of Swords is picking up the last decan of Virgo and the first 2 of Libra. So she has both Virgo and Libra energy within her. And the esoteric title for the Queen of Swords is the Queen of the Thrones of Air. The Queen of Swords is intensely perceptive. She has very keen observation. She is quick and confident. She's accurate. She's graceful and fond of balancing. She's an intense individualist. And in the tarot, traditionally, she's represented by Libra or cardinal air. She also picks up those last few degrees of Virgo, as I said before. When she's ill-dignified, she can be cruel, sly, deceitful, and unreliable with a good exterior. And so the Queen of Swords, she means business. And in Aleister Crowley's version of the Queen of Swords, you have the Queen of Swords cutting off the head of the man, which represents the division between the intellect and the animal nature of the human being, okay? And you can see she looks like a pretty severe creature, and Aleister Crowley called her the liberator of the mind. And she is the queen bee of the mind, and she is both practical and graceful. Some writers on the tarot would describe her as a divorced woman, a widowed woman, or a spinster. She can be thought of as intelligent or aloof. She is no nonsense, and she believes in self-reliance, and she believes it's important to speak frankly and to cut through to the heart of things, okay? And the Queen of Swords shows courage and learning through pain and loss. The Queen of Swords has a complex mind, and she upholds the truth in all things. And as I mentioned before, she's known for her abilities in research, writing, and also business deals. She demands honesty. She can have perfectionistic standards at times. She can be decisive and stern, and maybe even cut off from her emotions. She may have a tendency to analyze things to death and to get frustrated about deals that have turned sour or frustrated ambitions. She may want to resist an ending or delay a decision, okay? And the Queen of Swords also refuses to play mind games, and she's too smart for that anyway. Okay, and from a magical perspective, the Queen of Swords is able to set wards, define a work, and learn what shouldn't be done. Okay, and the Queen of Swords has knowledge of poisons and toxins, and the Queen of Swords also is very good at standing firm alone, and she does not suffer fools. Okay, so that's just a little bit about the Queen of Swords for you guys today, and we're gonna go and find out how you can embody the Queen of Swords energy and how she is showing up in your life. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the other piles aside, and we are going to get into the reading. Let's go ahead and do it. All right. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose Mercury for your planet, and today's reading is called Slay Queen, embodying the energy of the Queen of Swords. And I just did a little intro on her in the beginning. Here she is here in one of my like big tarot cards. Like I have some big Rider-Waite cards here, gigantic ones, and here she is. And I talked about how she means business and how she doesn't suffer fools, and how she could be very good at research and writing, and she has a very clear and precise mind. So we're gonna find out how the Queen of Swords is showing up in your world, pile number 1, and let's go ahead and get into it. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the energy of pile number 1s who come here today seeking your guidance. Thank you for allowing me to be the medium in the channel between yourself and pile number 1. Okay. So the 4 of Cups on the bottom of the deck here, just, you know, I don't want to hear it, right, with the 4 of Cups here. Also maybe a tendency to deny emotions, okay? Or not wanting to hear something or not wanting to look at something clearly, which at some emotions maybe in a very logical type of a way, okay? And with mercurial energy here, you guys picked Mercury, so wanting to focus on the mind and able to think about something in a very clear and precise way. So let's go ahead and look at the lovely Queen of Swords. You guys have the 6 of Swords here, 4 of Swords, wow, and the 10 of Wands. How did I know the 10 of Wands was gonna come up? So I'm just gonna pull all the cards and then we'll talk about them. I'm curious about my true nature. I seek to understand myself. Okay, very cool. Air, wow. Okay, you guys have a lot of, so an important message coming through in this reading. Maybe some of you are air signs here. Not enough. Okay, so feeling like not enough, feeling frustrated in a relationship, showing a lack of confidence, maybe engaging in some self-sabotage and having some, you know, ego issues and maybe even jealousy at times, okay? And I feel like the biggest thing here could be the lack of confidence and the self-sabotage. Maybe taking on too much with the 10 of Wands here, and Spirit trying to help you guys with that. Also too, the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Swords has to do with confidence and being very confident in her decisions and in the actions that she takes, okay? And so feeling maybe like we're not enough at times. Pile number 1, we have a mask here, not showing true feelings, okay? And that can be part of the Queen of Swords when she's reversed, okay? If we were to look at a reverse Queen of Swords, like not showing one's true feelings, okay? Because the Queen of Swords will, when she's upright, she will definitely show what she is thinking and feeling, okay? She is the watery part of air. So she can definitely connect with what she's feeling when she's upright and make important, clear, concise decisions based on that, okay? And this energy of having a mask can be where we like don't want to show our true feelings, and we also are trying to pretend that something isn't troubling us or something isn't as bad as it seems. You know what I mean? Pile number one, like, oh, it's okay. It's not as bad as it seems. And this may be where we deliberately delude and gaslight ourselves, okay? Let's see what else here. Flow. Wow. And as I said, the Queen of Swords is the watery part of air, talking about flow within the mind. And of course, the Six of Swords is showing a balanced and healthy mind, and like an energy of not letting anything get to you. Like in the past, maybe you let things get to you. In the past, maybe certain situations would try to like interfere in your peace and distract you. And I feel like the Queen of Swords is here to set you in the right direction, to help you make decisions and to help you understand yourself more. I am curious about my true nature. I seek to understand myself and be in the flow. Okay, and the Six of Swords and the Four of Swords are definitely, you know, the swords aren't known for, like, out of all the suits in the tarot, the swords are the most difficult, okay? But the Four and the Six are actually pretty decent. And you can see the dragonfly here flying right over the moon, talking about illusions and change. I mean, illusions and change are all around us. The ups and downs and cycles of life are all around us. But having a clear head and flowing with things will actually help quite a bit, okay? And I feel like some of you here having a tendency to discount yourselves and having a tendency to take on too much, maybe to prove something, when we need to be setting some clear boundaries, okay? Because the Queen of Swords also is very good at setting a clear boundary. We have balance, wow, and the Queen of Swords associated with Libra in the tarot, and definitely talking about being in balance and being in flow with yourself, okay? With the Ten of Wands here, you don't have anything to prove, okay? And Spirit really, with this air card here and the Four of Swords, really wanting to get you the message, pile number one, that's it's okay to relax and it's okay to kind of let go. And like there's a better mindset for you. I feel like where things are a bit more calm and easeful and settled. You know what I mean? When the dust kind of settles and it's not constantly whirling all over the place, okay? So we're talking about balance and flow and in our mind and in our thoughts, okay? And if some of you feel like at times you've lied to yourself with the mask here and you haven't always showed your true feelings or your true personality, I feel like the Queen of Swords is helping you to get to know yourself and to not worry so much and not carry so much the burden of what everyone else thinks of you or the burden of everyone else's expectations, okay? So to be truly curious about yourself, I am curious about my true nature. I seek to understand myself. We have friendship here. Okay, I feel like with this not enough in friendship, maybe you guys not taking on more of a burden in your relationships here. We have frustrated in relationships, whether it's romantic relationships, friendships. With the Ten of Wands, just entirely taking on way too much and doing way too much. And this could be because of, you know, ego issues, feeling like you lack confidence, that it's like, I have to do everything here. Otherwise, you know, people aren't going to want to be around me, like getting saddled with all the responsibilities and none of the recognition, okay? And I think the Queen of Swords is also wanting to bring you guys some friendship as well. And I see your heart chakra and solar plexus being lit up here and you really being celebrated. It kind of reminds me of the Three of Cups in the tarot, okay? And the Three of Cups in the tarot is the Lord of Abundance, right? Which is way different than feeling like one isn't enough and feeling like a lack of confidence, all right? I think it's like because at times, maybe you're not feeling mentally at peace within yourself, you guys are taking on a lot for other people and then deluding yourself and telling yourself, oh no, it's okay, it's fine, okay? And also sometimes feeling the crushing weight of having to hide who you are as well, and not feeling free to be able to just be yourself, okay? Because the Queen of Swords, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily describe her as delightful, but she certainly has a reputation for delighting in the use of her mind and delighting in the use of getting to know things on a deeper level, okay? And it says, I am curious about my true nature. I seek to understand myself, okay? We have here with the Ankh, purpose of life, you have so much to live for, okay? And with the 10 of Wands, it could feel like, why the hell even bother? You know, like, who the hell even cares, okay? And it may get to feeling pretty heavy at times. And I mean, I think with the 4 of Swords too, it's time, with the 10 of Wands, there's too much activity, or there's too many things that we've committed to ourselves, or too many things that we've committed to, and we're not taking enough breaks, and we're not using the time that we have very wisely. We just keep trying and trying and trying, and then beating ourselves up, and you know, and here with the Ankh, just saying, you know, you are really still discovering, like, you know, and it doesn't matter. I'm 42 years old and I'm still discovering more about myself and my own mind and who I am. And a lot of people say until you're like 30 years old anyway, you're just living out past lives. So, which could be a good or a bad thing. But I also think with the 6 of Swords, it's time to move on from something, and it's time to relax the mind here. And also, it's time to relax the body so that your mind can really flourish and come up with a really solid plan. And so that you can have like clear focus is also what I am getting here. And I feel like some of you are due to like move on from something and let go of something, but I just feel like it's been too busy, or you've had too much on your shoulders to even go about it, okay? So the more balance and flow that you have in your life, the more purpose you're gonna find in your life, okay? And we have the if I can talk, the void of course moon and missing. Okay, so it may feel like you're missing out on life at times, like life is just passing you by. And I'm sorry if you felt that way, pile number 1, okay? And also I feel like maybe some of you have really been missing a particular person too, and the Queen of Swords can help us grieve, you know, when we've gone through, because the Queen of Swords is not afraid of loss, and she's not afraid to grieve, and she actually like learns through loss and grief. And the Queen of Swords originally was associated with a widowed or divorced woman. So, you know, like learning how to like fill the void in our lives with things that are very meaningful to us, you know, interests, philosophies, ways of being in the world, right? Instead of just feeling this empty void within, okay? And I really feel like balancing out your personality here, getting in the flow, and balancing the mind, all right? And let's see what specifically, needed a drink of water, right? The Queen of Swords is water of air, so with that air, we need some water too. But anyway, let's go ahead and see. Let's see, what does the Queen of Swords want to, you know, that song, There's Something Missing in My Life, okay? And going in search of it to find it with the 6 of Swords here, flowing with the changes, all right? And let's see, what message does the Queen of Swords have for my pile number 1s, please? What message does the Queen of Swords have for pile number 1? We have the 9 of Wands, which comes right before the 10 of Wands, the 2 of Pentacles, and the Seven of Wands. Okay, so this to me talks about a lot of effort. And on the bottom of the deck is a King of Pentacles. Some of you may be missing a King of Pentacles in your life, or you may be frustrated in a relationship where you've literally been doing way too much. And it could be with a friend, or it could be with a romantic partner. The King of Pentacles in the tarot is a Virgo, and look at that, there's Justice, Libra. So we could be talking about Libra and Virgo energy here, and look at that, there's the Tower, okay? So we're headed, if you keep taking everything on like this, I feel like pile number one, there's gonna be a snap, like someone could snap, and there could definitely be a situation where somebody's temper really starts to, somebody gets real pissed off, okay? And for some of you, it could be with a friend here. We have a Scorpio, and we also have a fire sign. So there could be a couple of friends here as well that you have some concerns about, pile number one. And, maybe sometimes people trying to tell you about who they think that you are, and taking on everyone's projections with the Ten of Wands, which is not really like, that's not really your job. I feel like Spirit is saying, the Queen of Swords is saying, I can't even talk right now. Queen of Swords, help me talk, right? But anyway, I feel like, here we have the 7, the 9, and the 10 of Wands. So that is a lot of, you have mostly fire and air here. And it's like, what do I do with this situation? With the 2 of Pentacles, I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't. There might be a part of you that wants to fight back with the 7 of Wands and, doesn't ever want to keep fighting for something, or doesn't want to ever stop fighting for something. But I think it becomes an issue of the amount of energy that you're expending too in a particular relationship or friendship. And with the 9 of Wands and the 7 of Wands, it's like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. Like, do they want me to just stand here and take it or fight back, right? And maybe sometimes you go back and forth between that and we also see the self-sabotage here. So taking on too much and then getting mad about it and feeling very frustrated, okay, with this 9 of Wands. And, you can take more than the average person, pile number one. But I feel like, it just feels like you're constantly fighting a battle that, like a losing battle, I feel like. And there's just way too much that a situation is demanding of you, I feel, okay? And some of you may have been a little bit afraid of, letting go of a situation or sailing away or flowing on from a situation because of how other people would take it, right? But how long can you guys stand in the middle? And I also feel like sometimes you guys could be put in the middle between 2 friends, okay? Or like a friend and a lover, a friend and a boyfriend, a friend and a girlfriend, or 2 friends. And I feel like you're trying to, and the Queen of Swords is very good at like mediating conflict and being very straight up about it. But I also feel like this is like draining your energy. And I also feel like with the 6 of Swords and the 4 of Swords, you guys need some time to yourself, okay? And you may be feeling here, like with this void of course moon and missing, that you just wanna, I always say the 6 of Swords is like the gone fishing card. Like, I don't know, it's like with you, I feel like you're saying, I can't really take this anymore. This isn't really working for me. And it's taking all my energy and it's taking away the time that I could be like working on my own self, okay? And I also feel like Spirit is saying you can't be all things to all people. And if people are constantly like needing you, I feel like some of you may, I feel like there could be two friends or two family members or just two people who don't see eye to eye, but I feel like you're kind of in the middle of it. It could be a work situation too, and you trying to, because I think you care about both people, so I think you're trying to keep both happy, or you're trying to, but it's actually like, you know, both of them are being a little ridiculous, and I feel like it's not really, like the Queen of Swords is really good at saying, that's enough, you know, like you two figure it out. If you have two kids and they're fighting and they're pulling each other's hair and it's like the house is a mess, the phone's ringing, someone's knocking at the door, it's like, whatever, like you guys figure it out. Mommy is taking a walk, mommy is taking a break, you know, or at work, hey, I'm clocking out, it's the end of the day, you two bozos figure it out, okay? So I'm kind of getting that too. I think you guys are really good at, you know, mediating situations and helping, but I also feel like it's just not like, you know, it's just not like your responsibility all the time, okay? And it throws you out of balance. And I feel like the Two of Pentacles is definitely a card of balance. And someone here needs to get the message from you about how you can't continue to keep kind of going back and forth on something, okay? And that could be in a friendship or in a romantic relationship. And I just have to say, someone here, you may have a partner and then you may have a friend that doesn't like your partner, that type of thing. So kind of putting you in the middle of it, and it's like, yeah, you two bozos figure it out, as I said, okay? And I feel like the Queen of Swords is saying, you know, fight like hell for what you want, Seven of Wands, but don't get caught up in other people's dramas at this time, you know? And if you constantly feel like you have to be on guard all the time, or you always have to have a mask up and you can't just be who you are, I also feel like the Queen of Swords is encouraging you to learn about yourself more and to understand more about your own psychology and like what makes you tick. Okay, pile number one. And I just want to get one more card here for pile number one and see, Spirit, what should pile number one be focusing on above and beyond anything else right now? What should pile number one be focusing on above and beyond everything else for right now? What should standing your ground in situations that are not fair is one thing I'm getting, but what should pile number one? Okay, passion. Yeah, your passion, okay, for what you want. All right, and your life purpose and your passion is really what you should be focusing on right now, okay? So the Queen of Swords and Spirit would like you to direct your passion towards your manifestations and move away from excess drama, okay? That is what I am getting for you, pile number one. I hope that that reading resonated for you, and I'd love to hear your feedback or comments. And thank you again so much. Like, share, subscribe for more. Thank you, thank you, thank you, pile number one, and take care. Let's move on to pile number two. Okay. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the Moon Magnet. Okay, pile number two. Today's reading is called Slay Queen, embodying the energy of the Queen of Swords. And we have her right here on the screen. You can see her if you look. And the Queen of Swords is a boss bitch, okay? Pile number two, and or dude, whoever you are watching this. But you know, she doesn't suffer fools. She is very discerning and strong-minded, okay? And it's not that she doesn't feel any emotions, because the Queen of Swords is the watery part of air. That's why we have the moon here. So maybe there's a need to bring some emotions into balance here, and that's why you guys chose the moon card, or the Moon Magnet, okay? So something about feelings and emotions. let's go ahead and get into it and see what your Queen of Swords messages are. It's 555 on the clock right now, pile number 2. So 555, 5 is a number of challenge and change. So let's go ahead and see. Spirits, angels, and guides, can you show me some Queen of Swords messages here for my pile number 2s? Oh, the 2 of Cups is on the bottom of the deck. So talking about love and relationships and emotions and the big feelings that well up inside of ourselves when we're looking at someone who really can see into our soul, okay? And also looking at the reflection of self and recognizing self and appreciating oneself. So emotional healing with the 2 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Let's go ahead and see for pile number 2. Maybe some of you are wanting like a love message or a love note here. Let's go ahead and see. The Queen of Swords isn't always so lovey-dovey, but she does have an emotional side to her too, okay? Oh, the 2 of Cups. Wow, pile number 2. There we go. We've got the 2 of Cups twice. And today the Queen of Swords is getting, ooh, the 10 of Swords. Okay. And we have the 8 of Swords. So 2 very difficult positions for the Queen of Swords to be in. She can certainly find her way out of any web that she finds herself in. And the Queen of Swords also has very strong boundaries to say, like, it's enough is enough. And she definitely has the ability to mourn and grieve a situation, even if it is painful, okay? So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get the rest of the cards pulled and then we'll talk about it. We have here, I can guide and lead others wisely with love, okay? With the 2 of Cups. Yeah, there's a lot of like pain and suffering in this world and a lot of emotional unrest. And you guys are a wise guide and you lead others wisely with love, okay? And some of you may resonate with the Queen of Cups a lot here too. We have wisdom. Wow. We have 2 references to wisdom. And then we have the 10 of Swords. You guys have seen your fair share of ups and downs in life. And you've been through some pretty tough, challenging situations, betrayals, heartache, you know, end of the line type of things that happened that really tested your faith, I feel like, pile number 2. And because of that, you have a very strong wisdom within you. And this is card number 7, which is, of course, 7 is a very spiritual number. It's the number of the 7 chakras. It's the number of the planets, the days of the week. There's a lot associated with that number 7. It's also associated with rest, okay? And the 10 of Swords definitely needing to give it a rest, okay? And we have here seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, and third-party interference. Well, the 8 of Swords in the tarot is the Lord of interference. So we have third-party interference, or we have situations where people have lied, cheated, tried to get one over on you. And I think because you guys are so optimistic and open-hearted and loving, it maybe was hard to let go of your feelings towards someone or something here. And it's very seductive, you know, the Queen of Swords can really see through any of the minutia in a situation, and she has the ability to cut through the red tape. It's like with the 2 of Cups, I love you. You know, the 2 of Cups is the Lord of love, and the 10 of Swords is, but you betrayed me and you destroyed me and you took everything from me and I don't know what to do, right? The 8 of Swords. So the Queen of Swords really coming through to say, no more, okay? And I think maybe some of you here are also guiding and leading others. Some of you here may be tarot readers yourself, or you may be counselors of some type, or you just may be the person that all your friends go to when they're going through a difficult situation, okay? And yeah, pile number 2, we have here the Grim Reaper, okay? The relationship is over. No second chances. Grow and transform your life, okay? The Queen of Swords could definitely be a Grim Reaper for sure, and she certainly is very grim. The expression on her face is very grim, and she's saying, so it's gonna be like that, huh? That's the that's the expression that she has on her face. And I'm seeing a woman with red hair too, or someone that has like fire red hair. And she's just looking, and I'm also seeing brown curly hair, and she's looking, you know, very directly head on, and she's like, so it's gonna be that way, huh? All right. And you know, the Queen of Swords can also be very demanding. So it's like she is saying, this is over. There's no more second chances. Come out of the fog, and I require that you grow and transform your life now, okay? And yeah, she can be demanding. She can even be almost too demanding at times if you really want to fight about it, you know? But she's also like very good at giving advice and letting people know, hey, like, I love you and I care about you. I see this situation is just causing you a lot of misery, 10 of Swords, and a lot of confusion, the 8 of Swords, and you're better than this. Like, you have a great heart, great smile, great love for life. You don't need this situation in your life, regardless of how seductive it is, okay? And the Queen of Swords was known for being like a widower and a divorcee, okay? So it's like, and if there's anyone that was gonna be like alone and not with anyone again and just deciding I've had it, it would probably be the Queen of Swords out of all the queens, okay? That's not to say you won't be with anyone or you won't have love or you won't have, but I think what you're not gonna have is lies and illusions from people who don't really get who they're dealing with, because I feel you are very psychic, pile number 2, and you're just a lover, not a fighter, I feel like, with the 2 of Cups, okay? But people shouldn't take you for a fool. It doesn't mean that you're not wise. It doesn't mean that you can't see the truth, okay? And we always have to balance our loving heart and our compassion with you know, some logic. And the Buddhists are very good at that, because the Buddhists firmly, I mean, the Buddhists are all about compassion, but not dumb compassion. You know, with the Buddhists, it can be even more of a cold compassion, almost a detachment, you know? And so, yeah, it's interesting, pile number 2. We have here intuition. Yep, exactly. You can guide other people wisely with love and intuition, for sure, pile number 2. And your intuition can tell when something is off, I feel. And this may be something you've had to develop over time, because I do feel like you've wanted to see the best in people. And I do feel like, you know, you have a very romantic part to you. And, you know, you want to believe that as much as you love, other people can love too, right? But I do think that big heart of yours could have gotten you in trouble at times with the 10 of Swords here. But all your experiences have been, you know, instructive, I feel. And the Queen of Swords is a part of that in instructing you, okay? And when I see seduction, that makes me think of the devil in the tarot, okay? So it's kind of like we have the devil and the death card here. It's like the death to all my illusions is what I'm kind of seeing here. And of course, you know, Maya or illusions is the thing that we're trying to, you know, like move through when we're moving through that seductive devil type of energy. It's like that old feeling coming back again, that sense of confusion, that sense of, I don't know what's happening here. I feel lied to. I feel, you know, like depressed. I feel, you know, maybe even feeling sometimes with this 10 of Swords, feeling a little bit martyrish at times, maybe, pile number 2, okay? And it's like with the 8 of Swords, what exactly am I doing wrong here? Okay, and I feel like the Queen of Swords is coming to like mentor you. Some of you may have been already mentored by the Queen of Swords for a long time. And now you're at the point where you're helping friends and people that you care about cut through the BS, okay? We have mystery. Where does your wisdom come from? It's a mystery, okay? And why do things happen the way that they do, right? The Queen of Swords is very curious, right? Like, how do things work? Why do things happen the way that they do? What makes a person tick? Okay, some of you guys may have an interest in psychology as well. But, you know, I feel like even for those of you that are younger watching this, like for your age, you've been through a lot of experiences and you are wise beyond your years. And I feel like people may not always understand where you're coming from or how you came up with certain things as well, okay? But you are nonetheless. We have financial health. Okay, so the Queen of Swords also helping you guys to make some decisions about money too. And, you know, job is one thing. And I feel maybe some of you could have been maybe a little bit naive about the potential of something and then went into it blindly and then maybe found out that it wasn't all it was cracked up to be, okay? But I feel like you are learning a really valuable lesson. Also, acorns represent abundance and, you know, finding something valuable. Finding something valuable in the mystery of life, okay? And the Queen of Swords really wanting you guys to get focused on your financial health, okay? And this may have been quite the journey for you towards this. And it might have been quite an interesting journey at times, pile number 2. And it may be like, well, what am I doing wrong here? You know, what am I doing wrong here? And with money or with relationships at times. And I feel like the Queen of Swords is helping to direct you to like more like focus and sharp decision making about your financial health, okay? And some of you may need to have a conversation with someone at work about your role, the money you're making. Some of you may need to demand better salary, or you may need to, like, you know, start updating your resume. There may be some things that you could do here. The Queen of, woo! Wow, it was just a really loud noise. Sorry about that, pile number 2. The Queen of Swords is very, now my dog is barking. The Queen of Swords is very preemptive, like she can see something coming. I swear to God, I heard that noise before it even happened, and anyway, but the Queen of Swords is very preemptive. So, you know, taking care of your money and taking care of your physical health, taking away, I feel like also if you guys haven't felt very focused because you've been, you know, hooking up or flirting or wanting to date, or you're upset because something didn't go the way you wanted it to in a relationship, I feel like the Queen of Swords is saying, like, you know, there's not a lot of time to dilly-dally. We need to get preemptive here and we need to get serious, okay? And she is very good at getting serious and keeping a person focused, which is good. Okay, and some of you might be like, yeah, my financial health has been a huge mystery to me. I feel like I'm feeling around in the dark or something, okay? And as much as you do for other people and as loving as a heart you are, maybe sometimes your guys' money has suffered here, okay? We have acceptance. Yeah, the Queen of Swords is very good at grieving and taking a cold, hard look at the true reality of a situation, okay? And the Eight of Swords can be where we just don't want to see something and we're like, I don't want to look at this. I really don't want to look at this, you know? Spirit, don't make me look at this. Don't make me look at how I'm sabotaging myself. Don't make me look at these things in my life. I'm not ready to look at them. Don't make me look at a third-party situation or a relationship that is just ended up being more trouble than it's worth and it's just super confusing. Don't make me look at that, okay? And the Ten of Swords is like where we just kind of shut down because we can't take something anymore, okay? And so the Queen of Swords really helping you guys to get fierce and get fierce and strong in your mind and help prepare you for acceptance about something, okay? And, you know, the Queen of Swords doesn't waste her time and energy trying to control things that she can't control, okay? And it says, accept the fact that you can't control every situation and everyone, all right? And even through love, like as much as we love someone and as much as our intuition is telling us something, it may be time to take a cold, hard look at the facts here and just say, yeah, that isn't gonna, you know, that isn't gonna work, okay? And sometimes people are like too, you know, logical in the sense that they look at everything good and say, that'll never work. You know what I mean? And then there are some people that are more like yin or more loving in that type of way, and they want everything to work and think everything can work, but it's not always good for us. Just because we could possibly force ourselves into a shoe less than 2 sizes than what we wear doesn't mean that we should wear that shoe. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where the acceptance is coming through here. And maybe some of you just having to accept that no response is a response, you know? And sometimes, like with the 8 of Swords and 10 of Swords, we could have ghosting. We could have people who you really had a beautiful time with and you really enjoyed it and you shared a lot of yourself and, you know, like really with this person or really thinking it was going somewhere, and then they ghosted or they just disappeared or they did some things that you really don't understand, okay? And that are just like a total mystery to you. And the Queen of Swords can also, when she's reversed, can like overanalyze everything. And with the 10 of Swords and mystery, some of you guys may be overanalyzing everything to hell and back and not finding yourself any closer to, you know, to where you want to be with understanding something, okay? And I think that's when we kind of have to have acceptance about a situation and say, like, when we're in human form, we can't understand everything. Like, some things are actually a mystery, but what we can do is focus on the things that we can control and the things that are in front of our face that need, you know, attention and focus in this particular moment, okay? So I would say don't obsess right now, pile number 2, about dead relationships that just cause you to go back and forth in your head all the time or to second guess yourself, okay? If there was an ending, I feel like the Queen of Swords is helping you to accept this ending and to help you put your attention on something that would be really helpful for you to look at, such as your financial health, okay? So that is what's going on with that. And I know it's not the most, you know, but I think here you guys are gonna find with the 2 of Cups, people that are very receptive to your message and to your love and to your big-hearted, compassionate, loving ways, okay? And that may be through friendship, that may be through another romantic relationship down the way in the future, that may be through, you know, just sharing how you feel, right? With the 2 of Cups, we may bottle things up inside with the 10 of Swords and just feel like, I really can't talk about this to anyone, it's too much, okay? But mentally, things become lighter when we can actually talk to someone that we trust and share our emotions and let other people like hold space for you emotionally. Pile number 2, okay? So getting some emotions out with the moon magnet here and working through some issues around acceptance, okay? And maybe some of you are helping a friend with this right now, or you have also, because you've been in this position yourself, you know, and you know how it is. And just how seductive, like a beautiful lie can be, the 8 of Swords, right? And just how far we can take ourselves down a path of fantasy, 10 of Swords, until like we're just literally faced with nothingness, you know, which is mentally very hard to take. Okay, so the Queen of Swords is telling you guys to take care of yourselves mentally right now and to put some space and distance in between You and your thoughts, right? You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are a part of you, but they don't make up the entirety of who you are. You have an entire soul history and existence. You have a whole higher self. You know, you have a whole range of emotions and thoughts and feelings and sexuality, even with the Two of Cups, okay? So the Queen of Swords knows how to handle thoughts because she knows she's not her thoughts at the end of the day, okay? And we have here Mercury retrograde and reinvention. So you guys are in, the Queen of Swords is also really good at reinventing herself and her perception and how she is seeing things, okay? And I feel like you guys are reinventing yourselves right now to become like more how do you say it? Audacious, the audacity of pile number 2, which I am loving for you, pile number 2. And I feel like your guides are looking at you like, go on with your bad self, okay? And they want you to reinvent yourself, okay? And the Queen of Swords, she approves too. And wants you to like take a chance or to try something different or to, you know, like reinvent yourself. Also, Mercury retrograde can be where we go back over something and we rethink it 500 times, okay? So, you know, for more analysis. But we don't, in this situation, you're not in a Mercury retrograde. It's not Mercury retrograde right now. And you don't have to go back and like rehash everything. I feel like Spirit wants you guys to, you know, like keep moving forward. I'm also seeing somebody holding a basketball here. So somebody here might have played basketball, or maybe you know someone that does. But I feel like you guys are in the cocoon right now and you are reinventing yourself. And the reinvention is going to come right after the acceptance, okay? And I think your intuition tells you, pile number 2, that you will love again, all right? And sorry about all the barking. Talk about having to get like some emotions out or having to speak or having to, you know, just get it out, all right? But let's go ahead, all right? Let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see. What does the Queen of Swords want pile number 2 to know? What does the Queen of Swords want pile number 2 to know? What does the Queen, okay. 6 of Swords, amazing. 3 of Pentacles, beautiful, brilliant. And the 2 of Pentacles, nice, okay. So, you know, leaving behind all the upset and anger and disillusionment or disappointment here with the 5 of Wands on the bottom of the deck, like who needs it? It's just a path to nowhere. No thanks, okay? And instead, I feel like here with the 3 of Pentacles and 2 of Pentacles with your financial health, okay? And also too, the 5 of Wands could be where people try to get us to like buy into something or try to like lead us away from what it is that we know to be true, especially about something with money or investments as well. Pile number 2. So I would be on the alert for that. I know that one time this person told me about this software that you could buy where it would help you reduce your debt, like, you know, tenfold or something. But the software itself was like a $2,000, $3,000 investment. And I'm like, what the shit is that? You know, like, I don't know. So if you guys are having people, I was like, what is that? So if you guys are having people around you, like being bossy or telling you like, oh, I think this is the way that you should do it or whatever, I think you guys need to follow your own intuition at this point and, you know, set yourself up for success, okay? And the 3 of Pentacles is all about laying a solid foundation for a strong financial future and moving on from the old ways, right? Because we always can have like Mercury retrograde and go back and look at the old ways and, you know, why did this fail or why didn't this work out or whatever. But it's like, it's time to move on from the Mercury retrograde at this point. And it's time to get your financial fitness on, okay? And, you know, and that's kind of where the Queen, I don't feel like it's kind of, because there's nothing kind of about her. That is where definitively the Queen of Swords is leading you right now, as far as updating your skills, learning a new skill, asking for more money for what you do, trying new things, putting your attention on things that could actually grow. And I think you guys are just gonna get busier with the Two of Pentacles. I think, you know, there's gonna be there could be 1 or 2 projects that you guys are in the middle of, and things that you're working on right now. And I'm also seeing an artist here too, or somebody who has a mentor is learning something. And that's fabulous. You know, the Queen of Swords can be a very powerful mentor as well. You know, there was this one survey that was done where they asked, would you rather work for someone who was really nice, who had no idea what they were doing, or would you rather work for someone who was a little bit sharper or sterner, but knew what they were doing and could teach you the right way? And most people said they'd rather work for someone that was a little more stern, but could teach them the right way. You know what I mean? So I think with the Six of Swords, there's a departure from the old ways. And I feel like you guys are getting used to some new things. And it's gonna be good for you though, pile number 2, okay? And I think it is gonna bring like a level of detachment and acceptance, just like the Buddhists have, okay? And maybe some of you like wanna read about that or study that, because the Queen of Swords, she loves study. She loves research. She loves well-informed things, okay? So pile number 2, how interesting for you. I am going to draw one more card here to ask Spirit what you should be focusing on right now, above and beyond anything else, okay? Spirit, for my pile number 2s, what should they be focusing on above and beyond anything else? What should they be focused on? Okay, just getting focused in general, I feel like. We have here, good luck. Okay, so, and grieving, I knew grieving was gonna come up because there is some grieving and acceptance that's going on. It's okay to get mad and, you know, give someone the finger and walk out the door. This cat looks like they're the familiar of the Queen of Swords, because this cat looks like it has major attitude. The cat's like, don't let, and the cat is wearing its crown and is like, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Good luck, okay? And so I feel like it's okay to get a little bit mad. And I see the acorns in the background, and we've got the acorns here with wisdom. And I feel like Spirit is just saying, know that you're a queen or a king. Know that you are that bitch, pile number 3. Know that you got, or pile number 2, know that you got some Queen of Swords within you inherently. And Spirit would like to see that come out even more, like a fierceness, okay? And I also feel like some good luck is coming your way too, okay? So thank you so much, pile number 2. If you enjoyed that reading, I would love to hear your comments and your thoughts on the reading. I do read all of the comments. If you enjoy my reading, I sure appreciate your support with a like, share, or subscribe. Thank you so much, pile number 2, and take care. Let's move on to pile number 3. Okay. Let's go ahead and do it. Alrighty. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose Uranus. Uranus is a planet that rotates on its side or at an angle, and it definitely is the planet of weirdness, okay? And crazy, cool, fun, new ideas. So crazy, sexy, cool, my pile number 3. Let's go ahead and get into it. Today's reading is called Slay Queen, and we are talking about embodying the energy of the Queen of Swords and where that's coming through in your life. And here she is right here, the Queen of Swords, and she is strong and firm and decisive, and she doesn't suffer fools. As I said in the intro, I went through some various facts about the Queen of Swords, okay? And she has very keen observation and perception as well, all right? And fun fact, she's very good with poisons and toxins. which I loved. Okay, when I read that, I was like, yeah, of course, the Queen of Swords. All right, she knows what she's doing. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, let's see. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the energy of pile number 3, who chose Uranus today as their magnet to draw them into this reading. Spirit, show me how pile number 3 can embody the energy of the beautiful Queen of Swords. Okay, let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see for my, okay, we're just gonna go ahead. The Fool, right? Take life by the balls and get on with it already. The Fool, okay? And of course, the Fool in the tarot has to do with breath, and that first breath that we utter when we dive into a new experience, when we're on the precipice of something brand new. And the Fool is forever young, forever meeting new experiences, and forever gathering momentum for new experiences. All right, so this is exciting. And also the modern day association of the Fool is Uranus. So literally you guys picked the right pile, and the Fool is saying, well, aren't you dandy, pile number 3, as you come through in pile number 3. So the Fool likes to be crazy, cool, sexy, funny, interesting, out there, you know, unique. Let's go ahead and see. Queen of Swords, telling my pile number 3s to slay queen. All right. We have here the 3 of Wands, get to steppin'. The Hermit, you know, energy for the journey. And we have the Page of Swords. Oh, I got chills just right now, pile number 3. The Page of Swords, so the Queen of Swords herself, mentoring you right now, pile number 3, with direct instruction about your lives. And some of you are in training to become the Queen of Swords, I feel like. And you already have, I feel like this Page of Swords is already saying that you already wield the sword very well. Pile number 3, you're already very skilled with the sword in general, okay? And the pages are the thrones. So the Page of Swords is the throne for the Ace of Swords. So you guys are already very comfortable with this energy of discernment and discrimination, and having your eyes wide open and seeing things very clearly, and being able to keenly perceive and look into things, and the ability to learn very quickly and pick up on things very quickly, okay? So I feel like the Queen of Swords is saying, giving you guys a little clap there and saying, good job, all right? So let's go ahead. I'm going to get the rest of the cards out, and then we'll see what's going on here. I accept renewal and delight in fresh starts. Pile number 3, this is the new moon. And the 3 of Wands in the tarot is Sun and Aries, and talk about like the beginning of the year, the beginning of the zodiac, the beginning of everything. The Hermit here, this Hermit in this deck is not on top of a mountain yet, but they're looking out, like planning the journey, it feels like, okay? But they're definitely, or they're in the middle of the journey here, on the middle of the path, and definitely like, you know, off on their own is the energy that I'm getting here. So, you know, new starts, especially like with the Fool, can be a little bit scary. The Fool can be quite scary because literally it's never been done before, or nothing has come before it. And the Fool may also involve a little bit of inexperience at things, but the Fool knows inherently who the Fool is within, and that's what guides the Fool, okay? So something about you guys saying, I accept a new start, and actually I delight in it and I revel in it because I'm that kind of badass. I feel like that's what's coming through for you, pile number 3. Good for you. We have here the Wolf. Oh my God, wow. Pile number 3, the Wolf, talking about wisdom and the animal instincts within, okay? And the Wolf to me reminds me of that like shamanistic energy, and the Hermit, right? And the Hermit is walking alone and notices a wolf howling in the distance and hears the call and eyes are wide open and alert. What's that? You know, the Queen of Swords is very connected to her instincts, okay? I'm getting Aquarius and Aries energy in this pile. And it's funny, I'm doing this with my hands because that's like the motion of the Queen of Swords saying, come forward or come forth, okay? Some of you may have a teacher that is telling you to come forward right now, pile number 3, or you may be becoming a teacher for others on your path, as you have been many times the one to start things, the one to begin things, and also the one to finish things, okay? The Hermit holds the light for everyone else so that other people know where to go, okay? Because the Hermit is fearlessly treading where other people haven't gone yet. And so, you know, that takes a lot of, you know, like gutso and a lot of moxie to do that, all right? And you guys are so cute. Here you are on a beach in a white dress with your hand over your head, looking out over the distance, like, you know, where to next, okay? And some of you guys, you're alert right now, and you're highly alert for a fresh start and for whatever information Spirit is gonna bring you. And I feel some of you are on the hunt for it, okay? And some of you may already be very Uranian anyway in your own astrology charts. You may have Uranus rising, you may have, you know, Sun Uranus, Moon Uranus, like you guys are already creatures of Uranus anyway. Hear that wolf howl at the moon, pile number 3, okay? It kind of reminds, okay, the Hermit in the tarot is Virgo. Do you guys know Florence and the Machine? I believe she's a Virgo, and boy, does she know how to howl, and like really howl like a wolf in some of her songs. And she actually has a song called Howl, okay? So very interesting energy. I love it. We have the Chaser here. And I feel like, you know, if you guys were ever feeling alone or feeling abandoned at some point in your life, I feel like you guys have learned to walk in that and learn to revel in it and learn to keep your eyes open on the path, okay? And maybe when you were younger, you were more of a chaser and you were more like running after people in relationships, and it says here, chaser in a codependent relationship or fear of abandonment. Some of you may have been on your own from an early age here with the Page of Swords, from the time that you were a child, and you've learned to walk this path alone. And some of you may have had some very hard patterns in relationships to work through, and I feel like the Queen of Swords has helped you with that and is continuing to help you with that. And I'm seeing the owl here, okay? It looks like the owl, which of course is the familiar consort with Hecate, okay? The owl and Hecate kind of always go together, at least in my mind. So some of you could have resonance with that as well. But I also feel like you guys chasing after like the new, okay? And like just going for it. I feel instead of chasing after people and instead of like worrying about everything, and because the Hermit and the Page of Swords can have a lot of anxiety and a lot of worry and may have a lot of trouble sleeping and maybe up late into the night, okay? Like talking very rapidly, thinking very rapidly. And the Queen of Swords may be kind of helping you guys to bring some of that under control here a little bit, because I do feel like you guys are very fast and quick. And the Queen of Swords is also very fast and quick as well, and very ingenious, but she also knows how to like channel it in a focused way so it's not all over the place, right? And also so she's not wasting any energy, like chasing anything that doesn't want to be found. You know what I mean? We have Heart with the Key, welcoming love in, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together, and perfect, okay? So some of you could have really been chasing after love at various points in your life and not wanting to give up. And I gotta say, pile number 3, I admire your gutso and you know, your ability to just kind of go with it and meet challenging experiences head on. But I also think there's a part of you that has really been learning some powerful lessons when it comes to relationships and walking your own path, and also at times being comfortable being solitary. Okay, and the Hermit in the tarot represents touch and sexual love, which you wouldn't think the Hermit represents sexual love because it's, by itself. But the Hermit represents union with the divine, okay? Your pile is very spiritual. I feel like sometimes maybe you guys are just like, yeah, I don't know about relationships, okay? Or I'm still thinking about like how I want to conduct myself, or I'm still thinking about what type of relationship I would really want, because some of you could have had some like chaser patterns in the past or fear of abandonment. All right. But I also feel like, you guys are not giving up either, which is great. Pile number 3, we have cleanse. Okay. Cleansing your perception, cleansing your sight, cleansing your vision. Okay. And delighting in a fresh start, not chasing out after anything. And if some of you were chasing after someone or didn't want to give up on something, but it just felt like a lonely road that you didn't want to take anymore, chasing out after something, I feel like you guys are getting in touch with your animal nature, howling at the moon, spreading menstrual blood on your face, and running outside naked under the moon. I gotta say I like it, pile number 3. I gotta say I dig it, okay? And some of you could be in a big time spiritual cleanse right now, and if you are, congratulations, okay? A lot of us try to get to that point in life, and it's too hard because there's too much excess fluff in life, But I feel like the Queen of Swords is helping you to get rid of that excess mental fluff and prepare you for a wild ride and prepare you for a new journey. That's what I feel. You guys are being prepared for a new journey and you're learning, okay? We have here isolation, and that's coming out under the Hermit. And maybe at times in your life you were afraid of being alone and you didn't want to experience that level of abandonment. But I also think you guys have taken this fear and like made it your bitch, which I gotta say, pile number 3, or you may be doing artwork through that, or you may be doing some very profound things with your own psychology to like blast through these issues. And the Queen of Swords in the tarot, like she is known as the divorcee or the widower. And I said before in pile number 2, if there's any queen in the tarot that would just be comfortable being alone, it would be the Queen of Swords. Like she knows herself, she knows her mind. But I also think there is a part of you that is still very, some of you may have some beautiful blue eyes here too, because I'm seeing these beautiful blue eyes. But there is a part of you that is ever curious and passionate and sexual that is still maybe waiting a little bit for that person, or still has a side of you that hasn't completely like, I feel like sometimes I'm getting throw caution to the wind with the Page of Swords. So maybe sometimes you just want to say, fuck it, like I'll give it a chance, or why not? I'm curious what will happen. But maybe you just don't want to like re-trigger old patterns of abandonment type of thing, because I do feel like you guys are focused on a solo spiritual journey as well, that the Queen of Swords is helping you with directly. Like you are the Queen of Swords child, okay? Basically, you're the dark goddess's child, Lilith's child, Hecate's child, okay? That would be weird for Lilith to have a child, but you guys know what I mean. Sister of Lilith, okay? We have fertility. Wow, okay. Interesting. That is, well, what's interesting with the Hermit is about that seed energy, okay? And talking about, because I'm not getting a big energy here of like having children or all of that. Maybe some of you already did, or you've gone through that phase, or you aren't sure if you want to have kids. There may be some question about that. But I feel like the fertility is coming from nature and coming from the earth and coming from that type of appreciation of nature, and also a fertile mind and you guys having a very powerful and fertile mind. Maybe we need to organize it a little bit because it's maybe a little bit too fertile at times, and there may be a sense of over-analyzing or too many thoughts or ideas or too many paths or too many, okay? So I feel like the Queen of Swords is coming to help you guys like really focus that mental energy, okay? And the Queen of Swords in the tarot, she can also be associated with barrenness, which is the opposite of fertility. And so, you know, but barrenness and fertility, it doesn't have to be about kids. It can also be about like a fertile mind or a strong mind, all right? And also a connection to nature. And as that's my bell, it wanted to be rang, so I'll ring it for you, okay? And as much as you guys are like kind of on your path and journey, you're not kind of, you are on your path of cleansing, isolation, your journey moving forward. There also is a part of you that's like very fertile or very sexual and very much in touch with your body and your passions, okay? And like part of you that like wants to be like taken, you know what I mean? In like a good way, like take me now, you know what I mean? So I am getting that too here a little bit. And some of you may have some kind of like wild ideas around certain things that maybe you would like to do or want to do. I just feel like you guys don't want to disappoint yourself, okay? And the Queen of Swords can also be associated with perfectionism. So with the Hermit here, you guys may be, that's Virgo energy, you guys may be like perfectionistic a lot and demanding a lot from yourself, and maybe not letting yourself like experience physical pleasures as much as you would want to, but you have some wild ideas or kinky ideas in your head. And I feel like the Queen of Swords is kind of helping to keep you balanced, right? Because the Queen of Swords also helps us stay balanced on our path. She's associated with Libra energy, okay? And not go overboard, right? The Queen of Swords is where she mentors us so that we don't go overboard on something, and that we also don't swing too far one way while completely ignoring other parts of ourselves. You know what I'm saying, pile number 3? We have here Aquarius. There you are, pile number 3. I love it. My heart sings for you, pile number 3. You have that uniqueness that people look for, but they can't find. Hey now, pile number 3, they should pay you for being you. You know what I'm saying? I love it. You got that uniqueness that people look for in other people, but they can't find. And I think anybody that's been with you on a romantic level, like you're someone to remember. Like no one is gonna forget you, pile number 3, okay? Regardless of if you're on that journey and you're on your own at times and you're an adventure and you're exploring and you know you're walking through the desert and seeing all the things and 40 days and 40 nights and all of that, I feel like the people that have encountered you along your path are not gonna forget you anytime soon. Yeah, so welcome to your reading, pile number 3. Ooh, we've got the 3rd house and messages, okay? And the 3rd house has to do with communication and also like hearing the call of spirit and hearing the messages that spirit is trying to send you and to decipher the symbols that are coming your way, okay? And I do think you guys are learning a lot of symbols, and you're learning, you're reading, you're studying. You're quite smart, pile number 3, and you're also a powerful communicator. And I do think the Queen of Swords is helping you to become even more powerful in your communication and to really streamline it too. So, because I feel you guys are very aware of the messages that you're getting from spirit too, okay? I mean, I think this is all fabulous, pile number 3. Like all of this is good. There may be a little bit of loneliness at times, and it may be good for you to kind of like stay in contact with certain people or connect with certain people or connect with people that you have things in common with, okay? And definitely through study and learning, spiritual messages, studying and learning concepts, these things, you know, the third house is where we're like forever a student and forever learning, and so is the Page of Swords, okay? We can also get overwhelmed with too much intake, right? So the Queen of Swords helping us to like stay focused and stay balanced with that. And the Queen of Swords here helping you to direct you on a new path here. And I think one that's going to be like, this new path may actually connect you with more people with this fertility energy, and may actually have you getting your word out there or getting your messages out there even more than before. Okay. And I feel some of you are in a preparation phase, and you've been in a preparation phase, but pretty soon it's going to be time to put stuff out there. And also the Queen of Swords is an amazing writer and researcher and analytical thinker, okay? And I think all of that is, especially with writing, for those of you that like to write or you produce content of your own or things like that, or part of what you do has to do with getting your message out, or some of you wanting to get a spiritual message out there. I think here we go now, pile number 3, okay? And the Queen of Swords helping you to do that, all right? To get your message out there in a very effective way. And here's the Eye of Horus here too. Some of you may have a connection to Egypt, and you're constantly like getting downloads from past lives is also what I'm getting. Pile number 3, okay? It's just a matter of organizing all that information, you know, because the Page of Swords is a storehouse of information. But like putting it into effect and putting it into like a structure could be something that the Queen of Swords will help assist you with, okay? So let's go ahead and see, what would spirits and the Queen of Swords message be to beautiful pile number 3 about their life right now? What does the Queen of Swords wish to tell pile number 3, please? I'm getting excited for you guys. I'm delighting in your new journey, okay? We have the 6 of Swords. Wow, that was the first card out in pile number 2. It also showed up in pile number 1. So the Queen of Swords definitely drawing on this 6 of Swords energy of balancing out the mind. 2 of Wands, exciting, okay? And the King of Pentacles, okay? And we have the 10 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So some of you may be asking, like, will I be happy again with the 4 of Wands and the 10 of Swords? And we have a Scorpio here with the Knight of Cups, or a water sign. And I just feel like this is talking about your guys' emotional dedication and emotional strength, and how like passionate you guys are under everything. But I also feel like maybe your passion has gotten you into trouble at times, and maybe had you making decisions that you can't really like take back. You know what I mean? And so I feel like that may be a little bit worrisome under there. Like, if I do open up my heart with a key, what will happen? Will it be the same thing? I don't know if I'm ready for that. Here's the Hierophant and the High Priestess focused on spiritual studies, okay? But the Queen of Swords coming through to say, you know, wherever you go, there you are. Whether you're arriving or departing, really, it's all the same, you know? And I think you guys know that already. And here's the King of Pentacles, which is another reference to Virgo, okay? And I feel like sometimes you guys are like forever, like delighting in new starts and fresh starts, but it may be a lot of like turning around and coming back and, should I go here? No, I don't like that. It's something else. That's not what I want, you know? There could be kind of like a restless soul within you, okay? And so I think the Queen of Swords is also wanting to help you like get kind of comfortable where you're at right now, all right? And there may be somebody coming into your life too. Some of you may have a life partner or somebody that's gonna come into your life, because this King of Pentacles with the fertility, I also feel like you guys are the King of Pentacles as well. You are the ruler of your own domain, okay? And nobody can tell you different. And I agree with you, pile number 3. Go for it, okay? I love that movie or that show, The Good Place, where Ted Danson is like, "It's all cool, my babies," and he's like getting stoned. Anyway, non sequitur, pile number 3. But I don't know why the King of Pentacles just made me think of that. It's all cool, my babies. Okay. But I love the fertility with the King of Pentacles and talking about, solid financial health for you guys too. And probably like finding a place where you can like settle a little bit at some point here. There's a lot of going back and forth, I feel like, and maybe wondering, am I gonna like it in this place if I go to this new place, or should I just kind of stay where I'm at? Okay, and I feel like Spirit is gonna help you with these questions. Pile number 3 with the Page of Swords. Some of you guys may have a lot of questions about the direction of your life now. Like, should I stay where I'm at? Should I go? Should I think of something else? Like, what should I do? Okay, and I do think you guys need to be somewhere where there's like opportunities for you, where there is like a lot of nature, probably where there's water too. Okay, maybe by the mountains where there's water and there's a lot of nature would be nice. And yeah, so I just feel like, you guys, when you're eating healthy, making good choices in an environment that suits you, a place where you can really be comfortable and be yourself, I feel like that's when you're like super thriving. And yeah, I feel like some of you here too, like, meeting someone as well, or seeing someone new, or talking to someone new, or striking up a conversation with somebody who maybe has had a very different life than you, but at the same time is very interesting to talk to or fascinating in a way. But I also think you guys are just still focused on your own like cleanse and on your own growth, okay? And some of you could actually be on a cleanse right now, on like a physical cleanse as well. And I mean, you may meet people, but I kind of feel right now you guys are concerned about what it is that you want, okay? Other people are gonna be there, but I feel like Spirit is saying, stay focused on what you want, okay? Pile number 3, those are your messages, and let's go ahead and get one more card here for you guys. I don't wanna rush your messages in any way. And I think with the King of Pentacles, that's a good thing too. Like sometimes we get tired of a place, 6 of Swords, so we just get restless, 2 of Wands, but to go somewhere different. But at the same time, with the King of Pentacles, we don't want to like rush anything too quickly either, because it may have, you might want to kind of think through some of the other things or consequences, that type of thing. All right. I feel a lot of you also decided to leave behind a situation with a person to move on to a different path in your life, and that you're actually okay with it, because you do delight in new starts. And, every closed door is an open door. And I don't know, I feel like you guys have like the right amount of detachment, which I like. And I've always appreciated that about Aquarians. They've got that right amount of detachment. My Cancer moon has always been jealous of that. Just like, some of us are just like bleeding all over the place type of thing with our emotions. But good for you. Pile number 3, keep it tight, all right? Keep it light, keep it tight. Let's go ahead and see. And you guys, it's not like you need much, You guys are built for like the road and traveling, okay? Other people probably couldn't live the way you live, but they're not you, you're you. All right, just make sure that you are making decisions that are good for you, okay? Like practically, on a practical level, all right, is what I would say here. So let's get one more card for pile number 3. Spirit, what should pile number 3 be focusing on here? What does the Queen of Swords want pile number 3 to be focusing on? Yes, you don't live your life like other people, but you're also incredibly interesting, different, and cool. So keep it up, pile number 3. Let's see. What does the Queen of Swords here? Truth. Yeah, for sure. And well-being is on the bottom of the deck. So also your physical well-being and cleansing and releasing and all of that, okay? Body cleanse, mental cleanse, all of that is emotional cleanse, super important. The Queen of Swords is squarely focused on truth. That is really her biggest thing. And she wants you to obey the truth that lives within you. And it's your truth, not anybody else's. And you're the one that has to look at yourself in the mirror every day. So it's really you. Okay, and I'm seeing 222 in the mirror, which is also, I'm also seeing 1111 and 411 in the mirror, okay? And with 411, it's like, for your information, this is the truth, okay? So with the messages and truth, I feel like the Queen of Swords is actually, some of you may have like a spirit guide that embodies this Queen of Swords energy, okay? That is constantly like shining the light of truth at you guys, okay? The light of truth can burn like the sun, but it's also, you know, more refreshing than anything else, because ultimately it gets us to where we need to be, okay? So that is what I am getting for you today, my beautiful pile number 3s. If you enjoy my readings and you want to show me some love, I do have a tip jar if you want to buy me a coffee or say thank you in any type of way. Also, I so much appreciate your likes, your shares, and your subscriptions. Thank you for allowing me to do what I love. Thank you so much, everybody, and keep slaying. Take care.